Hello everyone, welcome to Real Science Challenge. I'm Kent Louie, science teacher and talking head, broadcasting from beautiful Vancouver, Canada. Now check out what I had my students complete recently. It's my video game cladogram activity, which shows how different items are linked together. It's kind of like a hypothetical evolutionary tree. Now usually students produce cladograms of different animals, but my students made theirs using video game consoles. I use this activity to have students analyze, categorize, and create models of data. And I also teach cladograms. But even if you don't teach evolution or cladograms with your students, you can still do this activity because all those skills I mentioned before, analyzing, categorizing, and creating models of data, are ones that all science students should be practicing. And what better way to do it than to use video game consoles, which students are into anyways. Before I dive deeper, handouts for this episode can be found at realsciencechallenge.com/EP52. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Now first, a quick rundown of cladograms. A cladogram shows hypothetical evolutionary relationships between organisms and common ancestors. Consider these four animals, all right? A shark, a bullfrog, a kangaroo, and a human. Now here is a cladogram for those four. And how did we get there? Well, first what we do is we make a table and we come up with characteristics that group and divide these organisms. So for example, for a shark, bullfrog, kangaroo, and human, which organisms have a vertebrae? Well, they all do. So we put an X into each one of those boxes. Next, another characteristic. Which organisms have two pairs of limbs? Well, sharks don't have two pairs of limbs, but bullfrogs, kangaroos, and humans, they do. So we mark them with X's. Next, which organism has mammary glands? Well, not sharks or bullfrogs, they don't have mammary glands. The kangaroos and humans do, so X is there, and so on and so forth. We come up with the characteristics that are important to us to group these. Now, it helps to think of simpler characteristics that group a lot of animals, that a lot of animals share, and more sophisticated ones that only a few animals share. Now, next, we make a Venn diagram. This is the second part over here. And we draw a larger circle that represents the most common characteristic, in this case, having a vertebrae, which all organisms within the circle would have. Next, we draw a second circle inside the bigger circle. And this is the second most popular trait, in this case, having two pairs of limbs. So the animals in this circle will have a vertebrae and two pairs of limbs, which is the reason why the shark is on the outside of this circle and everything else is inside, and so on and so forth. Finally, we connect or we redraw this Venn diagram as a tree with branches. We start off with the most common characteristic, the vertebrae, which all organisms have. And next, the next most common characteristic is here, two pairs of limbs. A shark doesn't have that, so it branches off by its own. But everything after that branch shares two pairs of limbs, and so on and so forth. Hence, we finally get our cladogram. Now, in my video game cladogram activity, I start by giving students a sheet of paper with pictures of gaming consoles. And sometimes I give them two different ones on this one, or three if I want to make it more challenging. And just like the animal cladograms, I have students create a data table with characteristics that group and divide video game consoles. Like for example, some students may see if the controllers are hardwired or whether they're wireless, or they may look at the controllers and see how many buttons there are, or they might look at the console and see if the screen is built into the console, like the Game Boy, which makes it portable. All these are characteristics students can write about or provide on their data table. Then students draw a Venn diagram with circles within circles. And finally, students cut out the consoles and glue them onto a chart paper to make a cladogram. And students use markers to label and add text to their chart paper. And the final result is this guy. And the great thing is that no two are ever alike. Here is one, and here is a different one, which is great because students don't have to worry about finding the right answer. You can really focus on the thinking and not focus on copying or finding out the right answer. That's it for this episode. Please smash the like or subscribe button or leave a comment below. And handouts, once again, are at realsciencechallenge.com/EP52. Thanks for watching, and let's talk science education again soon.